Hello everyone and welcome to our latest and third episode of the best viewer replica built cars in automation game. Yes my friends, we are back with 5 amazing replica built cars in automation made entirely by viewers, so we can review them, so we can drive them, and of course so we can of course vote on the one that we like the most at the end of this video. So in this video we have Aston Martin, we have a Jaguar, we have a Fiat, we have a Datsun, and of course we have a Honda. And as you can see, there's a battle going on here, of course, because it's a Jag. Of course, yeah. But we'll be having so much fun. We'll be driving them and exploring them. So let's have fun and let's see what's what. Alright, so the first car that we are starting with is, of course, as you can see, it's the Honda Prelude. Now, if you're not familiar with the Honda Prelude, well, it's a sports car that was produced by Honda from 1978 up to 2001. This car came with many different versions, on 5 different generations. All of them were front-engined, front-wheel drive. Some of these versions were very successful, some of them were not that much, some of them were really advanced with like rear wheel steering and amazing suspension tune and much more. And of course the creator of this car, he actually chose the 2.2 VTI version with 200 horsepower, or actually 197 horsepower exactly, with the engine name H22A8 with 11.0 to 1 compression ratio. Now this awesome version came in the European market, according to Wikipedia, with many different upgrades and many different versions. It came with 4-wheel steering, and this one came with a chassis code called BB8 according to Wikipedia, which is absolutely awesome. Now as you can see, the creator actually spent a lot of time on it to make it look very realistic. I mean, all the fixtures are absolutely sweet, like the headlights, the taillights. I mean, it does look like a Honda Prelude. I mean, it's missing some little bits there and there, but of course this is automation, and thanks to the missing mods and the missing things going on lately with the open beta version, it was like not really that easy to replicate. But what a great job Mr. Big Boy Shibe did indeed. Absolutely spot on. So let's drive it and see what's what. Alright, so driving the Honda Prelude Gen 5 VTI 2.2, that's the name of it. As you can see, we are on the lakeside track, which is very technical and very sweet. And this car was tuned like very nicely. The suspension, the engine, the gearbox ratios were absolutely spot on. It's not entirely replicated, like there are some little mistakes. Yeah, there are some little mistakes with the engine and the gearbox a little bit, but everything else is like really spot on. This thing corners so nicely. I mean, it doesn't feel like a front-wheel drive car at all. I mean, you go around the corner, it's just full of grip, like very nice amount of grip, very stable. Look at that. It is just marvelous to drive, really sweet. It feels like a sports car, and at the same time it's a comfortable car. It's not like a hardcore racer. Look at that. Takes a corner at high speed very nicely. All right, let's do another run. Now this 2.2 liter engine actually is quite torquey, like really quite torquey. See, the steering is so precise, suspension is so great. There is a little amount of wobble going on thanks to soft dampers, but it's not crazy. Look at that. I mean, you just point it and it just goes. Of course, this thing is running with an open differential, this one that the creator did, which not really that great when it comes to cornering, but it doesn't really affect it badly. And here we go. What a car, what an absolute car. Really, really nice work, Mr. Big Boy Shive. Absolutely spot on. It drives great, it looks great, and as I mentioned before, because the game is missing a lot of mods, seeing a Honda Prelude with all of its glory in automation, it's actually a great thing. Absolutely spot on, my friend. Very, very nice work. I mean, the engine is not entirely replicated correctly, but I mean, you did a brilliant job. So guys, if you like the Honda Prelude, don't forget to vote on it at the end of the video on my community tab. So let's move on with the next car. Alright, so the next car, well, obviously, as you can see, it's an Aston Martin. Not any Aston Martin, this is the Aston Martin DBS. Absolutely beautiful. I mean, I'm a huge fan of the DB9 Aston Martin, and the DBS is like the top of the line version of the DB9. Like it's like the most beautiful, the most luxury version, and the most crazy version of the DB9. I love the DBS so much. It's expensive, it's luxury, it's fast, it's absolutely spot on. And to see this thing in automation, it is an absolute mind-blowing, absolutely nice work. And this amazing vehicle was actually made by our dearest friend, Mr. The One and Yui. What a brilliant job he did. Now, if you are not really familiar with the Aston Martin DBS, well, the Aston Martin DBS, basically, it's a high-performance Grand Tourer based on the DB9, manufactured, of course, by Aston Martin, the British luxury car manufacturer. Now, what I really love about the DBS now, because it came with also many different versions. It came with a two-door coupe version, it came with a two-door convertible, and of course there was the 2+2 coupe and the 2+2 convertible. And what's really cool about it is the engine layout, because it's called front, yes, I'm not joking, front mid-engine. Yes, my friend, it's a front mid-engine rear-wheel drive car. And what I really love about it, which is also the looks. I mean, it looks absolutely gorgeous, and it came with, of course, the legendary, of course, the V2, the Aston Martin V12 engine, which is called the 5.9 AM11 V12. And this thing came with two different gearboxes. There was the 6-speed Tektronix automatic gearbox, and there was the 6-speed Graziano manual. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. So, and I'm really happy that the creator of this car actually went with the manual gearbox, the 6-speed one, because with the manual, this thing feels so alive in BeamNG, so alive. And what I really love about this particular replica, because first of all, it looks absolutely gorgeous. Second thing, it drives and it sounds like real Aston Martin. Now, I know that automation engine sounds in BeamNG.drive are not really the best sounding engines, but the V12 noise fit this car perfectly in BeamNG. As you can see, look at that, the color, the crazy attention to details. Everything is replicated, tire size, brakes, everything is absolutely marvelous. What a brilliant job Mr. The One and Yui did. Absolutely spot on, my friend. Really a piece of art. I'm so happy to see it in automation, and I really had so much fun driving this amazing thing in BeamNG.drive. So let's drive it and let's see what's what. Now, as you can see, when you drive it slowly, like on slow speeds, it's just another luxury, you know, two-door coupe. It drives very smoothly, very torquey, very nicely, and surprisingly fuel efficient. But when you put the hammer down, it's a different story. That V12, that 5.9 liter V12 is just absolutely a powerhouse, a true underhood monster. Look at that. Gearbox ratio, the suspension, everything is perfectly tailored to this V12. Aerodynamics, the car is deadly stable. It is so beautiful to drive, really smooth to drive. Look at that, and of course, this is the best, and I'm not joking, this is by far the best getaway vehicle ever. Like, as you can see in this scene here, I was driving on the West Coast city map, and I thought to myself, well, let's try and run away from from basically like civilians or from the AI basically, and it was so much fun running away from this AI. Look at that. It is the getaway car of the century. Basically, you would run away and you would be in style and in luxury. And you would be driving quick. Very, very quick. I mean, 0 to 100 takes 3.7 seconds. I mean, it's a $300,000 car with around 600 horsepower. It is just absolutely sweet. Look at that. This thing feels and drives like a $300,000 car. The brakes, suspension, the tires, the engine, everything is just perfectly tailored for this absolute beauty. Look at that. What a beauty, what an absolute beauty. Alright gentlemen, if you like it, don't forget to vote on it. Alright, let's move on. Alright gentlemen, this is the 1989 Jaguar XJ40 Daimler. Now of course, if you don't know the history about Jaguar, Jaguar was owned at the time by the British Leyland, and when they went on their own, they wanted a great car. They wanted a brilliant sedan to start their new business, to continue the reputation of Jaguar as an independent luxury car manufacturer. And of course, this is what they come up with, the Jaguar XJ40. Now, if you don't know the Jaguar XJ40, or if you haven't heard about it, basically it's a full-size luxury sedan, of course manufactured by Jaguar at the time. It was so awesome, and the reason for that, actually there are many reasons why this thing is so awesome. First of all, it's a rear-wheel drive car with an inline six up front with different types of gearboxes. Basically, they used the legendary AJ6 inline six that was made by Jaguar at the time, the 3.6 liter version, made around 212 horsepower. It was rear-wheel drive, and this particular car actually came with many gearboxes. There was a 4-speed GM automatic gearbox and 2 other 4-speed automatics, and there was the manual gearbox. Now, to be honest, the creator actually went with the 4-speed automatic, which is not bad. It does actually drives very nicely, and it's actually like really like good to drive, absolutely sweet to drive. There is the vicious limited slip differential. It is so advanced. This particular car was named at the time the safest car in Britain because it had airbags, it had independent rear suspension, and much more high technical stuff in the interior and on the exterior and everything. And this particular car was made by our dearest friend Mr. Quest 333, and what a great job he did. So let's drive it and see what's what. Now, well, driving this particular car actually is very awesome, and well, yeah, this happened, but it's okay because it's a Jag. It's okay. You can do anything and get away with it because it's a Jag, obviously. Now, as you can see, this thing is just absolutely sweet to drive around, like basically around the city. You can drive it very nicely. It's surprisingly thirsty. I mean, I thought this inline six was, not bad when it comes to fuel efficiency, but in BeamNG it was a little bit thirsty. But it's actually, I mean, it's just worth it. Look at it. It's just a marvelous car. 212 horsepower, smooth inline six engine, automatic gearbox. It is just really nice to drive. Look at that. I mean, and it's quick. And like, it is properly quick. It's not slow at all. You can really throw it around corners. It will corner very nicely, and even if the rear end let go and start to slide around, it is so controllable. You can actually control it and have so much fun with it. It is a very fun and very nice and luxurious sedan to drive. Like really nice. I mean, take a look here. Take a look. Look at that. just keeps on going and going and going because it is so well balanced, so pretty indeed. I mean, really, really pretty at the time, and it is just so brilliantly made. Very, very nice work, Mr. Quest 333. So, my friends, if you love this Jaguar, of course, you can vote on it at the end of the video. And now, of course, let's move on. Alright, my friends, the next car is a very special car made by our dearest friend, Mr. Spazi himself. Now, this particular car is, of course, the Fiat 130, a brilliant looking Pininfarina designed two-door executive car. It was absolutely a beauty, an absolute proper beauty. It was designed by Mr. Paolo Martin at Pininfarina at the time. It was an amazing car, very, very advanced and very, very luxurious and cool and very, very nice to drive at the time. But unfortunately, there are some huge mistakes that were made by this car, or they were made by Fiat at the time. First mistake was the engine. The engine was this car came with a 3.2 liter V6 and another version with a 2.8 liter V6. Both of these V6 are, you know, unfortunately extremely low on power. The car weighs around 1600 kilos and the engine was producing only 165 horsepower. Now, I mean, for a regular car, for a regular street car, it's not bad, but the other major problem with it was the price tag. This thing was so expensive at the time. I mean, inside Italy, this thing cost around the same as an S-Class Mercedes, and outside Italy, it cost more actually than a Porsche 911 at the time, which was absolutely crazy. And this is why this thing wasn't really that popular with everyone. Not many were sold, but true petrol heads bought it at the time, like Enzo Ferrari and Giovanni Agnelli and much more awesome people. So let's start driving this thing and let's explore it together. Alright, so as you can see, driving this thing around, well, obviously Italy, because it's an Italian car, is, you know, it's a nice car to drive. It's not too slow. I mean, it feels heavy. It drives, you know, like a normal car. It's not really super exciting, but when you learn the history behind this car and the people who actually bought it, you understand how special this car is. As I mentioned, this thing was designed by Pininfarina. You know, the looks of it was designed by Pininfarina and had a Fiat V6 engine 3.2, and you know, it's not really that bad, but unfortunately it was very expensive at the time. I mean, for no obvious reason. I mean, I was reading the history behind it. I mean, it has independent suspension. Yes, it had a lot of amazing sporty fixtures like good suspension, good brakes, good tires, and good chassis actually, luxurious interior and everything. But that doesn't really justify the crazy price tag. And I think, and also when the oil crisis hit the market, when it hit the world of course, this thing couldn't, like, Fiat couldn't just continue making it because not many people were actually buying it, and it wasn't really that fuel efficient. So yeah, it was unfortunately killed by the oil crisis, plus other things like, as I mentioned, the crazy fuel consumption and the crazy price tag and the slow acceleration time and the slow top speed. But still, it's an amazing car, absolutely an amazing car to drive. Really, if you want to drive it around like tight corners, tight bends, and like just enjoy it like a two-door luxury or executive vehicle, it's actually very good, very nice. But again, the power definitely is a deal breaker. I mean, if you are looking for something quick and powerful, this is not the car for you. But if you're looking for something really special, something that will stand out between every single car on the road, my friend, this is definitely the car for you. Because I mean, just look at it. It is just a marvelous looking car. Look at that. It is an amazing car. Absolutely, very very nice work, Mr. Spazzy. Absolutely sweet work. Now, Mr. Spazzy, as most of you guys know, he gave us some really amazing replicas in the past, Lancias and much much more. And of course, if you love this amazing Fiat 130, I would love if you can vote on it at the end of the video. All right, gentlemen, I love it. Let's move on with the next car. Alright, my friends, the next car, well, as you can see, it said its name on its own. This is, of course, the 1970s Datsun 240Z. I was about to say Nissan, but this is actually the 240Z made by Datsun at the time. Now, if you're not familiar with this car, this is actually one of the most crazy and successful cars made by Datsun at the time. I mean, one of the most successful sports cars at the time, because it was the perfect sports car at the time. It had an inline-six up front, rear-wheel drive, manual gearbox, very lightweight body. It looked brilliant, and it was just an absolute amazing work by Datsun at the time. And as you can see, this particular replica was actually made by our dearest friend, Mr. Cars and Eurobeat, and as you can see, he did a brilliant job detailing it. It looks absolutely marvelous. I mean, especially in this orange slash yellow paint, which makes this car stand out even more. It's a brilliant car. So this car actually came from the factory with the legendary L24 inline-six engine, which is basically a 2.4 liter mechanical fuel pump, and of course SU type carburetors. Now, the creator of this car, unfortunately, he made a little mistake. He actually used Weber carburetors instead of SU carburetors. Basically, SU carburetors in automation means the single barrel eco carbs, because I've already made a replica of this car before, and I mean, this one is an absolutely beauty, but it's a little bit different from the real deal. But still, a very very nice work, absolutely spot on, Mr. Cars and Eurobeat. I really love your work, and of course, let's drive it and let's see what this yellow monster will do. Now, driving the Fair Lady Z, or the 240Z as they call it, I mean, it's actually pretty nice to drive. I mean, slow speed, it's very very nice. But when you put the hammer down, my god, it's a different story. Because the creator unfortunately made the engine a little bit too thirsty, this thing just keeps on shooting flames all the time, which is unreal, pretty much unreal. But you know, I really like this thing. Absolutely sweet. Look at that. The engine is so torquey, the engine is so powerful, the gearbox ratios are spot on. Tires, brakes, everything is just perfect, and it is a beauty, an absolute beauty. Oh yeah, look at that tunnel run. Here we go. That is what I call a tunnel run with an inline-six carbureted engine. Absolutely sweet. I really love this thing. Very very nice work, Mr. Cars and Eurobeat. Absolutely spot on. So my friends, if you love this thing, don't forget to vote on it at the end of the video. And that is all, my friends, for our episode 3 of the best viewer replica built car in automation. Tell me, what do you think about these cars in the comment section below? Which one you actually liked the best? And of course, don't forget to vote on my community tab, the link in the description below. Just press the link and vote for your favorite one, and of course in 24 hours we'll be picking the winner of the vote. So thank you so much, gentlemen, for watching. Thank you so much from all of my heart for your amazing support, and for all the cars that you have submitted for this awesome episode, and I really cannot wait to see you in the next episode. So my friends, if you want to participate in the next episode, and if you have a car of your own that you made in automation, you know, a replica car, it needs to be 100% replicated. If you do have one, send it or submit it on my Discord, the link in the description below, on the replica cars page, and I'll be of course picking the top 5, and of course I'll be putting them on the next episode to see which one is the best one. And of course, big thanks for all my Patreon members for becoming my Patreon members and for supporting me and supporting this channel and for becoming VIP members and for creating these amazing challenges. So my friend, if you want to create your own challenge, if you want to become a VIP member, if you want to support the channel, if you love my work, the link in the description below for my Patreon page. You can subscribe to my Patreon, you can download all of my special replica built cars to your BeamNG.drive game, and of course you can create your own challenge with your own rules. You can also become a VIP member and get much more things done. Big thanks for all my Patreon subscribers. Big thanks from all of my heart for supporting me and for giving me all the motivation in my life currently, because you know how things are lately, like staying at home and nothing to do. So with your amazing support and with all of the amazing challenges that we are doing, it is just absolutely marvelous. So big thanks from all of my heart. And of course, big thanks for everyone for watching. I will see you very soon. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and of course to get subscribed, and I'll see you very soon, my friends. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye for now, my friends.